Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're taking a look at the premium Bandai HGUC Mobile Suit 2nd V. So this is a just variation of the Victory Gundam, and if you saw the unboxing, it's basically a mix. It's about half totally new parts for this, and then the other half is made up of a mix of parts from the Victory Gundam and the V2. So there's a bunch of stuff in there, and it all makes for a really pretty awesome kit. And if you watched my live build of this, you saw I was really enjoying just kind of pointing out the fact that there's a lot of really great color separation in here. It is a little bit sticker heavy. There's a handful of stickers there. It is an HG, so that's not entirely surprising, but it does have a lot of really great color separation in there as well, so it's a little bit kind of a mixed bag. I think just the general size of this being very small, the amount of stickers that it does have is not that surprising, and a lot of the stickers are kind of inconsequential, that they're not really particularly necessary, especially if you're going to be painting. They're very easy things to just paint in by yourself. But overall, the kit does feel really good. I like it quite a lot. A few years back now, I built the V2 Assault Buster, and I really liked that kit as well. Definitely prefer the HG line of Victory kits compared to the Master Grade Verkaz, but with this one being a P-Bandai kit, it's probably going to end up costing you around as much as a Master Grade anyway. So let's get into talking about the accessories, everything that you get included with this kit first. We'll go over some of the articulation and all that, and I'll give you my final opinions on it. So the first thing we'll take a look at here is the sticker sheet. So as you can see, I've used all of them except for a couple. These black ones here go here on the head. You can see in the vents on the side of the face, those are red inside there because they're part of the same red piece of plastic that makes up the red under the chin, and then the red under the eyes. That's all one red piece. But just to make those side vents on the side of the head black instead of red, you have these stickers for that, which I honestly just forgot to put them on, and I didn't want to take the head apart again to put them back in, but you guys don't really particularly need that. It's a very small detail, but you get the idea. And then for the eyes, you have two different options for the eyes. So like I said, there's a red piece in there, so you can see a little bit of red underneath the eyes. But if you wanted to make that really super apparent, you can use this decal, which includes a little bit of red on the underside of the eyes. Otherwise, the eyes are just exactly the same. It's just that the piece of plastic is red, so you don't really particularly need that sticker. But the rest of the stickers here are just on here for the head camera, of course, on the front and on the back in there. These red circles going around on all of here, which I found didn't really go on very well. They don't really fit on particularly well, and they're kind of awkward. And then on the forearms, you have, aside from the red circle, you have another little red strip that fits around like the top of that part there, which again doesn't really fit on super well. As you can see, there's like a little crack there. They were just, usually Bandai stickers work super well. They fit really tight, but these ones I just found they just weren't exactly quite right. Anyway, same thing with these here on the shoulders. You have these black ones that fit inside the vents here on the shoulders. Again, very easy to just paint in that detail yourself. And then we have a black sticker in here for the end of the cannon, just to make it look like so that that's actually hollow, but it's actually just only goes that deep there. And then the last couple of stickers are here on the beam rifle, so let's just take a look at that. You have two blue decals there for the top, and then for inside there for the cameras on the beam rifle. So really awesome beam rifle here. I like this V2 version of the beam rifle, a little bit bulkier because it has this part here at the bottom as well. You can remove that if you want, and it's just this kind of standard looking one with less bulk, but I like this added part onto there. But the only problem is that it's got these hollow gaps in the back of it like that, which are a little bit unsightly. Then we've also got our two beam sabers and clear pink effect parts for that, which look really nice because they're different effect parts from just the standard ones, how they have this extra bit of flare there at the end. These are also in harder plastic, so it's just kind of standard clear plastic rather than the little bit softer plastic you usually see for beam effect parts. Then we also have one of the beam fan as well, so you can just swap that out if you wanted to create the signature Victory Gundam's beam fan effect there as well, so that's pretty cool looking also. We do also have the beam shield, which will plug onto the back of the arm. It's a really awkward shield, one aspect of the Victory Gundam that I've just never really cared for, but that does also come with the kit here. And the last thing is just an option part for the shield. So that is up here over the shoulder. So it has two different parts. You have to part swap these if you wanted to have it in the stored condition, or this one is for if you want to have it in the deployed condition. Now with the deployed condition, obviously you can see this will plug onto the back of the arm where this red part folds out like that. And that is also a new part for this. It's a little bit different than what comes with the original Victory Gundam. That cap pops out and you can plug this on in its place there just like that, which should work pretty cool. Alternatively, if you're using the beam shield, you plug the cap into that and then plug this onto the back of the arm here. And again, just due to the design of that, it's pretty odd looking. Like if you're looking at it from the front like this, it's kind of convincing, but if you want to just have that down, it looks a bit odd that it's on the end of that big red part sticking out of the back of the arm like that. So never really been a too big fan of that design. Now with this being a kit that recycles parts from previous kits, we do have a handful of leftover parts, none of them really too worth noting except for the fact that we have 2 of the V-fin, and which is really good because it's a really fine detailed part and very thin, and I think could be very easily breakable. So it's nice that we have an extra one just in case you break one. You've got the extra one just in case that you can use that if you need. So I'm definitely hanging on to that. But then for now, let's just talk a little bit about the articulation of this. So the head will go up to about there, which is not too bad, good for a nice flying pose like that, and then down all the way down to there. And once again, I'll just point out some of the color separation here. Aside from the color separation there in the head, which is really nice, you have this color separation here in these vents in the front of the chest. That's the blue part behind there poking through the white parts. You have this gray part poking through the white parts there on the backpack. These are separate parts here, no stickers. No stickers here. You have the gray parts poking through the little red part there for the cockpit hatch. So of course the yellow vents inside there as well. And then up around here on the cannon, some nice color separation with the gray bits poking out here, here, and here. All of that for the cannon here on this side there as well. So some really cool, nice color separation on a lot of these parts. It looks really nice. But back to the articulation. So the torso will go back and forward a little bit like that at the midsection, and then side to side a little bit there as well, and some rotation as well. As for the shoulders, you have the polycap which will swing out to the front a little bit like so, pressed all the way in, should be kind of like that. The shoulder will allow you to bring the arm up to just about 90 degrees, and that's about it. So that is the extent of the upward movement of that. But as usual, the arm will just rotate there at the top. We have our double joint there in the elbow for a pretty nice full bend upwards like that. The hand is just on a ball joint, and just in case you didn't figure it out already, these holding hands are the only hands that we have included with this kit, which I will mention, as I mentioned during the live stream, that I think the hands on this look a little bit larger than they really should be. So definitely if you have some option hands, just to get a little bit smaller hands for this, that would probably be a good idea. It seems like that would make sense to me, but depends on what you guys think of the kit, of course. Moving down to the skirts, these front 2 are just joined together, so those will move up and down like so, no problems with that. These side skirts can also move up just a little bit like that. The back skirt doesn't move at all, but again, some nice color separation with the gray vents up inside there. That looks pretty nice. The hip joint can rock side to side there as well, and then you have just a little bit of rotation there at the top, not full rotation, but you can get that out to like 90 degrees, which is definitely more than you would ever need it to move. And then horizontally, they can come out to about that far for a pretty nice spread. Forward, they should have no problem coming all the way up to the front. The knee is going to crash into that front skirt armor a little bit there, but you can see you can get at least up to 90 degrees. If you bend the knee out of the way, you can probably get the leg up just a little bit more like that. The knee is going to have a double joint, which is pretty essential because the design of the Victory has this big bump out the back of the thigh like that, which could get in the way, but the way this is designed, you got a pretty nice bend out of that, so that's good. Down here at the ankles, this little bit does move a little bit there. The foot forward just doesn't come really all that much forward, up to about there, but you can get it pointed down pretty far, and then as you can see, you have a separation of the toe there, so you can actually fold the toe back like that, which is pretty nice. And then up underneath the feet, you have some pretty full detail, just a little bit of hollow gap up in there as well, but overall it's pretty nice, I think. So then just going around to the backpack, of course, and these bits here will open up like that. Now someone asked during the live stream if this can use the Wing of Light effect parts with this. I would believe so, because it looks like it has the connection points in there for using the Wing of Light effect parts with this, so it should work as far as I know. If you guys know anything different, then leave a comment down below, but those just open up like so. And the cannon and the shield are also on like the same kind of articulated arm here for that, so you have a couple points of articulation here, a ball joint at the base, and then a rotating joint up here as well, so that can bend around and bend here at the center as well. And then you have a point of articulation up here as well, and you can actually take this off of here, and then you can hold this cannon in the arm just by holding onto the handle here like that. So it's kind of meant for the left side, but I guess you could hold it on the right side as well. It would just kind of be upside down, but it's meant to be on the right side. On the left hand like that, so you can just hold it in the handle. This is the part which plugs onto the backpack. Just fold that back out of the way. And the shield, of course, as well, can also be removed from the backpack like that, and then you'll have to part swap these parts for the deployed form, but you just kind of remove each of these bits off of here, plug them onto the new piece, and that is how the deployed shield is going to look. So awesome, really cool design for that as well. Can take off each of these 3 parts to fly around on their own. You'd have to put them on some sort of stand or something. Obviously nothing is included for that, effect parts for this or anything. But it looks like inside each of those, they've just got the kind of standard peg adapter there. So if you had just some sort of like a clear rod or something, you just plug that up into there already as it is, and it looks like you should be able to just set those flying by yourself without even having to drill the hole by yourself, which is nice. And just for a comparison, as you guys all know, the Victory Gundam is a pretty small boy. So here he is compared to just your standard size HG, the ARC-782. And so really that makes that extra little bit of color separation in there on some of those really tiny parts all the more impressive, just to see that in such a small scale like this for this tiny HG, but really impressive. So I gotta say, this makes for a pretty nice solid HG kit. It's got a few stickers on there, maybe a few more than you might like to normally see, but essentially they're just kind of necessary. I really wish that those red circles would be just kind of separate parts in there, but honestly not that surprising that they aren't. So it's just kind of expectations. You can't expect everything on an HG to be perfectly color separated. The fact that it has some stickers is just sort of going to be a fact of life. Overall, the seam lines on this kit also very well handled, is that it pretty much doesn't have any seam lines on it that are really all that noticeable. Maybe on the head, but even that one, you know, it would be kind of up to you. The way that that seam line on the head even is designed is not really all that bad, I think. Other ones on the arms and legs are hidden as panel lines just between parts, so you've got really nothing too much to worry about with seam lines as well for the most part with this kit. And the articulation overall I think is pretty good. It's got pretty much everything you would expect for just standard HG articulation. The arms, the legs, everything all works pretty nicely. It's really the only notable negative thing about this is just the fact that it is a premium Bandai release and that it's not readily available for fans to enjoy. But if you are a big fan of this kit, and it seems like Bandai probably isn't going to make a master grade of it, and even if they do, honestly the master grade Victory Gundam not that great, it's kind of a pain. This one probably going to be the one that you're going to want to pick up, considering even if they do make a master grade, that'll probably be P-Bandai as well, and so it'll be even more expensive. So I would say if you're a fan of the design, then definitely check this kit out. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but it's such a cool design, I think. So those of you guys who are like me and are big fans of the second V design, then you got probably pretty excited about this one, as did I. But of course, if you guys do have any other further questions or comments about this, feel free to leave those down below. Happy to answer that for you. And as always, guys, huge thank you to USA Gundam Store for their support. If you do want to check out some P-Bandai stuff or just anything there on their site, you can check the link down below to USA Gundam Store's site, and then you can use that coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, to save 10% off everything there as well. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.